Tonight, I want you to understand something very deep and very powerful. The midnight hour is not just a time on the clock. It is a spiritual intersection. It is a moment when the natural world becomes quiet enough for the spiritual world to speak louder. When many are asleep, destinies are negotiated, battles are fought, and decisions are made in realms your physical eyes cannot see. Midnight is a sensitive time, a time of transitions, a time when patterns are reinforced or broken. That is why you must not sleep casually through midnight without spiritual intelligence. You don't sleep through battles, you win them before you rest. There are people who wake up tired even after long sleep, not because their bodies are weak, but because their spirits were under attack all night. Others wake up confused, heavy, fearful, or unmotivated, and they cannot explain why. These are signs that something was contending with you while you slept. The truth is this: sleep is not neutral. When your body sleeps, your spirit does not go on vacation. If you don't program the night will program you. If you don't speak, something else will speak. If you don't take authority, something else will try to take advantage. Midnight prayers are not for the emotional, they are for the discerning. They are not noise, they are alignment. They are not rituals, they are warfare. There are chains that refuse to break during the day because the authority to break them is enforced at night. Some doors open only when darkness is present, not because darkness is powerful, but because it is when heaven listens closely for voices that understand timing. Many victories recorded in the spirit happened at midnight because someone refused to sleep without enforcing their dominion. Hear this carefully. Every day ends, but not every day is settled. If you sleep without settling the day, you carry unresolved spiritual matters into tomorrow. That is how cycles are formed. That is how repeated failures happen. That is how frustration becomes familiar. But when you pray at midnight, you are telling your life, I refuse to move forward with yesterday's battles unfinished. You are declaring that your sleep will not be used as an access point for oppression, manipulation, or loss. There are words spoken against destinies while people sleep. There are verdicts issued by darkness, hoping you will be too tired, too busy, or too ignorant to respond. But when you pray midnight battle prayers, you are not begging, you are responding. You are answering accusations with authority. You are countering negative decrees with divine legislation. You are saying that before your body rests, your spirit will stand guard. Understand this: the night has ears. That is why fear grows at night if not addressed. That is why certain dreams repeat themselves. That is why anxiety intensifies when the lights go off. But the same way fear travels at night, faith also travels. The same way darkness listens, heaven listens too. When you fill the atmosphere with prayer, angels are released, instructions are issued, and resistances are dismantled. Your room becomes an altar, and your sleep becomes protected territory. Many people pray in the morning to repair damage that happened at night. Wise people pray at night to prevent the damage entirely. It is not everything you fight openly. Some things are neutralized quietly while you rest. Midnight prayers don't always come with feelings. Sometimes they come with authority that is calm but dangerous to the enemy. When you consistently engage the night, your life begins to experience strange preservations. Accidents reduce. Losses minimize. Confusion clears. It is not coincidence, it is coverage. There are patterns passed down through bloodlines that only respond to midnight interventions. Patterns of delay, patterns of sudden loss, patterns of rising and falling. These patterns are stubborn because they were sponsored in secret. Anything sponsored in secret must be confronted in secret. When you play midnight battle prayers every night as you sleep, you are announcing that generational negotiations have ended. You are declaring that your life is no longer available for ancient agreements that you did not sign consciously. The night is when the subconscious is open, when memories, fears, and beliefs are more accessible. That is why prayer at midnight does more than fight external forces. It also reprograms internal limitations. While your body rests, the word you have released continues to work. It heals places you forgot were wounded. It corrects mindsets you didn't know were wrong. It strengthens convictions you didn't know were weak. This is not magic, this is alignment. Do not think of midnight prayer as shouting or long words alone. Think of it as enforcement. Authority does not need volume, it needs legality. When you pray with understanding, heaven backs you because you are speaking from your position. You are not trying to convince God. You are reminding darkness of boundaries. You are saying, this life is owned. This destiny is guarded. This future is sealed. Some people are afraid of the night because they don't know what happens there. But once you understand spiritual laws, fear leaves. You stop seeing the night as a threat and start seeing it as an opportunity to reset, to realign, to recover what was lost during the day. An opportunity to speak peace over your sleep, clarity over your mind, strength over your body, and direction over your tomorrow. When you consistently engage midnight prayers, your dreams begin to change. Confusing dreams reduce. Oppressive dreams lose intensity. Revelatory dreams increase. Dreams become instructive instead of draining. That is a sign that your spiritual environment is shifting. Sleep becomes refreshing not because you slept longer, but because you slept covered. You wake up lighter, focused and ready, not knowing that battles were fought and won on your behalf. There are people whose greatest breakthroughs came after seasons of midnight prayers, not because they worked harder, but because resistance was removed. Sometimes effort is not your problem. Opposition is. And opposition does not always stand in front of you. Sometimes it hides in timing. Midnight prayer addresses timing. It aligns your seasons so you don't arrive early or late. It ensures that when doors open, you are prepared, and when opportunities appear, you have the strength to sustain them. Do not underestimate consistency. One night of prayer can bring relief, but a lifestyle of midnight alignment brings transformation. Darkness respects patterns. When the enemy knows that every night your atmosphere is hostile to intrusion, it looks for easier targets. This is not arrogance, this is wisdom. You don't wait for trouble before you pray. You pray so trouble doesn't wait for you. As you play midnight battle prayers every night as you sleep, understand that it is not the sound alone that matters. It is the agreement of your heart. Even if your lips are silent, your spirit is in agreement, and that agreement carries power. Heaven recognizes alignment faster than noise. Your intention, your faith, and your consistency create a legal covering over your rest. There will be nights when you feel nothing and mornings when you see nothing. Do not stop. Spiritual work is not always immediately visible, but it is always effective. Just because you don't see results overnight does not mean nothing is happening. Roots grow in silence. Foundations are laid quietly. Victories are often decided long before they are announced. One day, you will look back and realize that certain problems simply disappeared. Certain fears lost their grip. Certain limitations stopped showing up. And you may not remember the exact night it happened, but heaven remembers your consistency. The night remembers your voice. The atmosphere remembers your authority. So tonight, do not sleep defenseless. Do not sleep unaware. Do not sleep casually. Let your rest be guarded. Let your night be occupied by truth, authority, and peace. As you lie down, your sleep will not be interrupted. Your destiny will not be tampered with, and your tomorrow will not be compromised. While your body rests, your life will be advancing, your path will be cleared, and your victories will be secured. There is a mystery about spiritual preservation that many people do not understand. Life is not only protected by what you do in public, it is secured by what happens in private. Many people are careful with their actions during the day, but careless with their atmosphere at night. They monitor what they say around others, but they do not monitor what is allowed to speak into their spirit while they sleep. Yet the night is when impressions are formed, when emotions are shaped, and when momentum is either built or drained. If you win the night, the day will obey you. Every night carries a spiritual report of your day. What you feared, what you tolerated, what you celebrated, and what you ignored all wait for midnight to be processed. If you do not submit that report to God through prayer, something else will attempt to interpret it for you. Midnight prayer is how you submit your day for divine judgment instead of demonic interpretation. You are saying that no weakness, no mistake, no exposure will be used as legal ground against you. There are people who keep asking why certain doors close suddenly, why opportunities rise and collapse without warning. Sometimes the answer is not effort, skill, or intelligence. Sometimes it is because the night was never secured. Certain battles do not announce themselves during the day. They operate quietly, patiently, waiting for moments of restlessness, fatigue, or spiritual silence. Midnight prayer shuts down those operations before they mature. When you sleep under the sound of prayer, your environment changes. The air becomes charged with faith. Your room becomes a place of enforcement. Your bed becomes an altar of rest, not a platform for affliction. Even your breathing becomes synchronized with peace. That is not imagination. That is atmosphere responding to authority. Spirits respond to sound, but they submit to truth. When truth fills the night, darkness retreats naturally. Understand this. You are not just an individual. You are a gate. Your life is a passage through which ideas, blessings, and influences move. When you sleep, that gate does not close automatically. If you don't guard it, something may try to pass through that should not. Midnight prayer is how you station guards at the gates of your mind, your emotions, your future, and your relationships. You are not paranoid. You are responsible. There are seasons when God releases answers at night because the noise of the day is too loud. Many people are too busy, too distracted, or too opinionated during the day to hear clearly. But at night, when your defenses are down and your pride is quiet, instruction can come easily. Midnight prayer positions you to receive insight without resistance. That is why clarity often comes after nights of deep spiritual engagement. Some of the strongest people you admire did not become strong by chance. They learned how to end their days correctly. They learned how to shut doors properly before sleeping. They learned how to refuse to carry unresolved spiritual tension into rest. Strength is not only built by action, it is preserved by wisdom. And wisdom knows when to pray, how to pray, and why to pray. There are people whose joy leaks at night. They laugh during the day, but cry in their sleep. Others are confident in public, but fearful when alone. These are signals that the night is unguarded. But when midnight prayers become consistent, inner stability grows. Confidence stops being dependent on circumstances. Peace becomes internal, not situational. You don't just survive, you are settled. Do not be discouraged if at first it feels uncomfortable. Warfare is not always comfortable, but it is always purposeful. Your spirit is adjusting to a higher level of alertness. Your sensitivity is being sharpened. What once passed unnoticed will now be detected early. This is how maturity looks, not panic but perception, not fear but foresight. There is also something powerful about agreement. When you play midnight battle prayers, you are agreeing with truth even while asleep. Agreement is one of the strongest spiritual laws. Heaven moves on agreement. When your heart agrees, angels act. When your spirit agrees, resistance weakens. Even when your body is tired, your agreement keeps working. Some people think prayer is only effective when they are fully awake and actively speaking. But spiritual systems do not shut down because your eyes are closed. If anything, certain operations become more effective when distractions are removed. As long as your spirit is aligned, prayer continues to function. That is why consistent exposure to truth reshapes your inner world over time. There are things God protects you from that you will never know about. Attacks that never reached you. Accidents that never happened. Losses that were diverted. You may never hear the report, but heaven records it. Midnight prayer does not only deal with what you see, it handles what you never knew existed. That is the mercy of prevention. The discipline of guarding the night also teaches you patience. You stop demanding instant results and start trusting processes. You learn that some victories are cumulative. Each night adds pressure. Each night weakens resistance. Each night reinforces authority. And one day, without drama, something that once oppressed you simply cannot anymore. When you wake up after nights of spiritual alignment, you may notice subtle changes. Your reactions improve. Your decisions become clearer. Your emotions stabilize. These are signs that your inner environment is healing. Healing does not always announce itself with excitement. Sometimes it shows up as calm, consistency, and clarity. Do not allow guilt to stop you. You may have missed nights before. You may have slept without awareness. That does not disqualify you. What matters is what you start doing now. Spiritual authority is not built on perfection. It is built on alignment. The moment you align, help responds. The night does not have to be a time of fear, restlessness, or anxiety. It can become your strongest ally, a time when strength is renewed, when direction is refined, when protection is enforced. The same night that once drained you can begin to restore you. The difference is intention and understanding. As you commit to praying midnight battle prayers every night as you sleep, let it become a statement, not a habit. A statement that your life is not open to manipulation. A statement that your destiny is intentional. A statement that your rest is protected. Let the night know that you are aware, you are aligned, and you are covered. And as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, you will notice that your life begins to flow with less resistance. Not because there are no battles, but because you are no longer fighting them unprepared. You are enforcing victory from a place of rest. And that is one of the highest expressions of authority there is. So as you lay down each night, remember that sleep is not surrender. It is stewardship. You are not abandoning your life to chance. You are committing it to divine order. When you secure the night, the day has no choice but to cooperate with you. Your rest be intentional. Your atmosphere guarded. And your spirit aligned. As midnight prayers fill your space, let fear lose its voice, let confusion lose its grip, and let peace take command. You will rise each morning strengthened, directed, and preserved. Because while your body slept, victory was being enforced, battles were being settled, and your destiny was being protected.